Hi everyone, thank you for joining for the first ever Sri Lanka's first ever hackathon, powered by Dialog Gaming and collaboration with Ideamart. So thank you all for joining us today. The objective of the ha- hackathon is that we are trying to get the guys to be educated about the gaming hackathon, which is going to happen for the first time. And along with me, I have Supun Jayasinger, who's the product manager of Dialog Gaming. So, without taking much time, let me get Supun to introduce about the competition, what are the rules and regulation, and then at the end we'll have a Q&A session, because today I met a few teams at one of the universities in Sri Lanka, and they had few questions as well. So I think you might have questions, and if you are not live with us at the moment, later as well you can ask questions. So without taking much time, let me give the opportunity to our very own Supun. Supun, over to you.
Thanks, Shafi. Thanks a lot. So, guys, we are going to talk about the Dialogue Gaming Hackathon 2017. So, this is a new avenue for us, and it's something that we are very much happy to announce. So, we first of all want to thank Ideamart to helping us out, coming on board in this initiative. So, as Shafra said, there could be a lot of questions that you have. We will be more than happy to answer, and it's not just during the live broadcast, even afterwards, we are more than happy to answer these questions. So, first of all, let me explain the entire objective. So, we want to explain in terms of the guidelines and what sort of competition we're going to have. So, if we are to go to the next slide, you can see what the gaming hackathon is all about. So we are going to do this competition where we will find out the best locally developed games. So as developers, all you guys have the opportunity to come on board with us to partner with Dialog Gaming and to showcase your locally developed games. So the hackathon is already open for registration. So Google form is already there and it will be shared in the links as well. So few ground rules. We want to make sure that the maximum is only 5 team members. But if you have less number of members in your team, that's not an issue. It's just that the maximum should be 5. The selection teams can start their basic structure. So the basic structure and the hack idea or the game idea needs to be showcased in the form. One of the another ground rule that I want to clearly mention is that the judges' decision will be the final decision. In this hackathon, we have a special focus. We all know that gaming is a broad area. We want to ensure that we give a special focus on edutainment, but it predominantly doesn't mean that we will restrict you on any other game development areas as well. So, in terms
Yeah.
of, yeah, sorry,
Yes.
yeah.
Supun, give us a small. Yeah. Okay. Supun, can you see the slides again?
Nope.
Hold on.
Well, while Shafras tries to fix the small technical glitch we are in right now, let me just say a few other things in terms of the competition. Well, a lot of people, when we announced it, when we showcased it, came to us and asked, one of the biggest question is that, is there any sort of limitation in participation? in terms of whether we need to be a graduate, whether we need to be in school, in terms of any qualification or any requirement as such, or is there any age restriction. So we are happy to say that we actually want to keep it very open. So it's an open competition. Uh, till we get the slides on board, what I want to elaborate is the fact there could be different walks of life coming into this competition. So there won't be any restriction of such, and that anyone can actually participate. And yeah,
Yeah.
so and another aspect is that the word edutainment is something very new to some of us, and some of us are not very clear in terms of what edutainment is. So just to clarify on that, it's just in terms of English, it's just a matter of two words together. It's education and entertainment together. And then you guys must be wondering how come gaming, edutainment, education, entertainment, all these kind of connects to one another. So that's the beauty we are trying to basically crack. We want to see whether you guys have enough potential and enough energy to bring in with games that can be fun and make learning fun. So it'll be merely a base of a game. We want to emphasize the fact that it should not be a educational based, I would say, a tutorial. It is not that. It will be more of a game. So what we all look into the gaming mechanics and the gaming concepts, which the inner child of you or the inner human wants to actually enjoy, rather than simply looking at merely a tutorial. So Shafra, shall I continue?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, okay. So in terms of prize money, some of you guys would have seen the post that says a grand prize draw of 100,000 bucks. So we are happy to say that the first person winning this competition will get 100,000. So the winning team will get 100,000 worth prize. The runners up will give 75,000 rupees, and the third place will get 50,000 worth prize. So the other aspect that I want to clearly mention is that it is not just merely the amount of money. There are a lot of speculations around why money, and is it just money, and are we trying to buy you over the these wonderful concepts that you guys will bring in. It's not that. We want to emphasize the fact that all the IP rights and all the developer rights of all these games will remain with the developer. At the end of the day, we want the developer to be part of the journey as well. So this is a partnership we are opening our arms to, and we want the developers to partner with us in this journey. So there are a lot of future benefits we are targeting based on this.
Yeah.
So the benefits that you, yep,
Supun,
sorry.
yeah, no worries. On a quick note, one of the developers who has joined the Hangout,
Yep,
he mentions that the
yep.
slides aren't visible. Um,
Okay, they are visible then, is it?
it's not visible, it seems. So let me check.
It is not. It is not.
Hold on.
Yep. Guys, don't worry, after this video we will be basically giving out these slides as well. So
Slides.
we give a Google Drive which denotes these this presentation as well. So in case if you are keeping notes or something, you don't need to worry. We will be broadcasting or basically sharing the presentation as well.
So I
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
Supun, you can see the presentation.
Yes, yes. So we can go to the next slide. Yeah. So what, as I was saying, it's not just the price that you're gonna get as money. We will give this opportunity to host games with Dialog Gaming, and we business partnership which we will extend our arms. And that's the other aspect of, as you all know, as most of the developers know, we have in-game sales that can take place. So in-game opportunities or in-app purchases, as we all know. So we want these opportunities to be there for you as well. The other aspect is that we, as you all know, 2016 have been a tremendous year for Dialog Gaming because we managed to do a lot of events. So we want to continue the same focus and giving the best to the community. So we want to open our arms in the edutainment and these new games aspects as well. So we want to host competitions, tournaments using these games, and so your featured games will be there in these Dialog Gaming events as well. So as I explained to you earlier, the IP rights will remain with the developer, and Dialog Gaming is not claiming any of the rights of the games that will be developed. Uh, in terms of, yeah, we can move to the next. Yeah, so in terms of the judging criteria, these are predominantly, it's the biggest criteria that we are looking at. Uh, Creativity is something that we are keen on. We want to see how creative, how original your idea is. So that comes down to the third point as well, how originality of the idea and the quality of what you're delivering. Because at the end of the hackathon, we expect a working prototype where we can see to ourselves what you have developed. Another key aspect is that how Sri Lankan can we be. So localization is another aspect that we are looking at, because at the end of the day our target market is the local aspect and the local crowd. So the locals will be this, these products will be targeting on the local aspect. And with that, we can move to the next. Yeah, so when and where? We're gonna have it on 27th and 28th. So it will run from 5 p.m. in the evening till next day morning. As you all know, the hackathons we have. It's going to be in 15th floor auditorium of the Dialog head office. So before getting there, I would say, you guys need to register now. So if you haven't registered now already, I want you guys to register now. And we will be calling you in between 24th to 26th, and basically ensuring your registration and participation for the event. So you can contact us on 077 333 7541, and you can email us on gaming@dialog.lk.
Yeah, great.
And
I think
yeah, yeah,
we
sure.
have covered.
Not everything. So do we have any questions we can move into?
Yeah. So I think, guys, it is time for you to ask questions, and there are few questions you might have in mind, and you might not be online, or you might be shy to ask questions. So the common questions would be, we have mentioned in the registration form that you will have to use one of the Ideamart APIs as well. So
Yes.
what we would encourage is that, as Supun mentioned, we are looking forward to, now you might build a PC game, you might build a mobile based game, and that runs on different types of devices. That's completely fine. But uh, now gaming is a $1 billion business. So if you are targeting on a game to be freemium, or it's free to download, and if you are to sort of what we call go to another level, if you want to charge from the customer like a small chunk of money, it's all up to you to do it. But what we would encourage is that if you are using some sort of an API in this particular game that you're building, what we would encourage and recommend is to use the charging as a service or add to build API, because that's the most practical one that you can use. That's pointless you to use a SMS or a USSD, or say other subscription, etc. But it's up to you to decide what you exactly want to use. Some of the teams, I think, already have submitted the ideas, and they are looking forward to use the LBS API as well, where you can localize the game according to where you are, and to build edutainment games similar to like Ingress, or it can be like Pokemon Go as well. So it's all about, it's up to you to decide as in what you want to do. So that's a question that people might ask. And yeah, uh, and then you might have questions like now let me ask a question from Supun. Now
Yes.
Supun, as you mentioned, the common problem most of the guys who comes to all of these hackathons is that whether we'll get the we are a big company, and whether we'll get the idea and leave the place. So we have proven that we hasn't done such things. What sort of an engagement that you are looking forward in because Dialog Gaming has been phenomenal in 2016, getting all the guys who play games. You guys have taken into a next level, but in terms of developers, this is like the first time. What sort of an engagement model that you have in mind for the moment after the competition?
Yes, sure. First, thanks a lot for asking that question. Well, as you said, we want this is the next, and this is the first. From my understanding, this is the first gaming hackathon in Sri Lanka as well. So the aspect of having such and developing such games in Sri Lanka, and we want this to be a recurring event that we harn more and more games into the portfolio.
Yeah,
The engagement model we are looking at is one aspect to it is obviously the games that comes out from this particular competition, how much we can ensure that we enrich the lives in Sri Lankan community to start with Sri Lankans, and then how we can basically make it a platform that we can hit global as well with these ideas and with these games. So what our perspective or our engagement model would be that there are certain concepts and that are developed from our end as well. So coming up on board with these developers and ensuring and basically proving themselves to us, this will open up a new channel for them in terms of more work to come in years, and basically it will not be that far also, because we have few games pipeline of games concepts with us, and a lot of events planned for this year. So we want the development to take place locally than internationally. So this is another opportunity, so that say one of these game developers were highlighted in their performance, we will give them more opportunities in future to develop more concepts and more games like this. And the engagement model will also propel to the other extent where we will be hosting competitions. And one thing about gaming, and one thing about gaming that actually took it to the next level as an entertainment business in the international world is that the world managed to bring in a spectate element. So some of the big games, they are popular, they are simply there's a huge fan base around it. So how that's how the esports aspect evolved. So what we want to see is, apart from this particular initiative on edutainment, what more we can do in terms of games in Sri, how much gaming can enrich the community in Sri Lanka in terms of making it better. So along the lines, we have a big journey planned, and we value the developers, because if we don't have a proper developer base, this journey will merely be run on international soil. So we don't want that. We want it to be more localized, where we actually feel more about the localness. So Shafraz, that actually took me to another dimension when we were talking about edutainment,
true.
something really simple. And I think
Okay.
it's food for thought that we even discuss this. Like it's funny. Like if you go to preschool curriculums,
Yeah.
when we are to identify a tree,
Yeah.
what you see is a maple tree.
Yeah.
How many of us Sri Lankans know the maple tree? I mean, we don't know it, right?
True.
So, I mean, we all are knowing, we would know
True.
some tree that we know about. So, I mean, it could be your concept that you're developing could even go to that extent. So, what we mean by localization doesn't predominantly mean using Sinhala or Tamil. Something
True.
simple as, replacing the maple tree maybe like with a coconut tree, which we can relate to easily. So,
True.
that is something that we actually found out. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot we can do, and the
Definitely.
localization element is that aspect that I want to highlight.
Super. So two quick questions that I want to ask you, Supun. Um, so first one would be now. to tell you guys that Supun is a pro gamer. So he he plays a lot of games, and that's why he's so passionate about games and gaming inside that Dialog as well. So Supun, so if you are to give a quick sort of few elements which bonded you into games, where our developers also can think of and incorporating those into their games. So example would be people having leaderboards, you also having
Yes.
an initiative around that. So if you can give a few quick sort of features which makes
Yes.
people to glued into the game.
Yeah, so first of all, Shafi, I mean, there are so many good gamers than me in Sri Lanka, plenty. Just that I've been a passionate gamer since I was a very little boy. Apart from that, so let me, yes, as you said, let me elaborate. I'll just we all take about my journey towards gaming. I'm pretty much big into racing. I follow a lot of F1 to rally games to rallies. I mean, World Rally Championship to Dakar Rally Championship to all this racing stuff. I'm kind of passionate about it. And me myself is a a motorhead. So in terms of gaming, we when I was a kid, I mean obviously we can't drive. So even one thing is that we can't afford a car when we were really kids, and even not that we are in a country that we can actually drive really fast as well. So
Yeah. Yeah.
game is the next best thing, right? So I mean, if you can't do it there, why don't you do it in the virtual world? So the aspect of having the possibility of doing stuff on the real, what we can't do on the real world in the virtual world, is one of the key elements that I think most of the games ride on. And the aspect that you can actually give an experience which you can't do in your real life, and you can get that entire element of making fun out of it. And actually the basis of fun is something really was lacking in the newer games compared to the older games. So this is some
True.
sort of a debate that has been going on ever since, and that's why even the retro games are still coming onto the track. So
True.
making it fun, making it extremely simple. um, those are the simple elements that which actually builds a lot of addiction around any game. So yeah, that's kind of the journey, I would say. But games have evolved in the history, and by now, I mean, all of us know what it had become now.
Yeah. True. So Supun, there are so as we mentioned before, gaming as is a billion-dollar business, and also at the same time, there are many countries which uses games to sort of educate grade from very early ages to very older ages, and sometimes for the disabled people as well. So do you have some sort of a reference that our gamers could look into, or can get inspiration, or some sort of get some ideas around it? Or do you recommend any sort of literature, or do you recommend any sort of website that they can go and have a look at this particular games or reviews or etc.?
Well, see, if you look into the entire element of, I would say, edutainment. Let's look into the edutainment aspect first. There's been a lot of
True.
initiatives, not just from one particular company, or I can't restrict it to one particular company, because still, even in the global state, this is very scattered.
True enough.
I mean, I can call upon one particular company, like say, this is the benchmark we can look into, because there is no one big company who was totally focusing on edutainment, because it's connected with, I would say, e-learning,
True.
and some of the e-learning platforms have pretty much taken the gamified aspect.
True.
So it's merely the gamification of that turning into the learning platforms. That is what is out there. But there are few games which have been developed. Probably I can share some links soon after the conversation is over, where
True.
guys can most of our developers can basically take some references too. So the issue is, these games, the diversification of these games are pretty huge. So if you take it, it could be there are simplest ideas, just to, not that I want any one of you to simply take this idea, but simply, I mean, if you take a game like Sudoku, uh,
True.
it's just a number-based game. So if, I mean, all of us know what Sudoku is, and it's a game at the end of the day, even though it stimulates your brain in terms of
True.
numbers. So
True. True. So in this competition, Supen and the team will be looking forward to localization much more than going looking forward for a. We do looking for a global product as well, but at the same time, if we can have some sort of localization into it, that would be fantastic, because there are lots of games which we used to play during our Urdu festival in day-to-day lives as well. Those days, when we were kids, we used to play what we call batta vanima. So things like that, if we can take this into virtual world as well, I'm not sure whether kids these days play those in a physical world. So we can, if we can get those into a digital world and provide them some sort of a what we call some sort of a education while we are giving them out an entertainment as well. So that's pretty much it from our end. Now, Supun, do you have anything else to be added?
well, yeah. So just one last thing, Shafraz. Just if I just want all of you guys to spread the word, and because it's not just basically we are looking at not only just three places. So people will get that impression that there are only three prizes that will be given away from our end. It's actually a lot more than that. We are opening up a platform. We are opening up a gateway, and if you hit that threshold of quality and all these criteria that we were referring to, it's basically a agreement or basically contract with Dialog Gaming you're looking at. So it's a big opportunity. And if you are a developer and if you want to get into this industry, I think it's a great time to be in. So we are more than welcome, and we are basically asking all of you to register and be part of this spectacle event.
Definitely. So, ladies and gentlemen, all the gamers who's out there, we are looking forward to get your ideas, get your proposals out on or before 25th of January. So you can be a part of the first ever gaming hackathon powered by Dialog Gaming in collaboration with Ideamart. And if you need more information, let me run you through the final slide, which is you can contact 0 triple three 7541. And if you want to send an email to gaming@dialog.lk. So these guys will be providing you fullest support in terms of mentoring, and if you have any clarifications to be sorted out before the competition is on 27th January from 5 p.m. onwards at Dialog Head Office Auditorium, and that will span up to about 28th of January. First place, second place, and third place winners will get fabulous cash prizes, and they have a great opportunity in their hand to be a part of Sri Lanka's largest telco and to be a part of the Dialog Gaming whole initiative and the whole uh, the ongoing process along with Supun and the awesome team that we have at Dialog. So we are looking forward to hear from you, and until we meet on 27th, take good care. See you soon.
Thank you. All right, guys. Good night.
Thank you.